Hey, I just thought I would talk a little bit. The physical therapist came in and talked to Mama. He talked to her and helped her, do some movements and things in the room since she's not allowed to leave the room. She's in isolation until they get, do another urinalysis and find out whether or not this bacteria, ESBL bacteria, is out of her body. The ertapenem they put her on, I don't think that should be making her sleepy and feel like she does, but she just wants to sleep all the time. And she feels so horrible that it's just like, she just hurts all over. She's swelling again. And in my personal opinion, and even some others I've spoken to, feel as though that should be going away. That should be easing off. I mean, and it seems like the time we've been here in the past 2 weeks, everything's kind of just collapsed. Something has happened and everything's just kind of just dissipated. And there's one particular nurse. I don't like to talk and gossip about things, but there's one particular one. She was supposed to have been off this during this time. Also, some of the kitchen staff were supposed to have been off. Some of the kitchen staff were supposed to have been, they were supposed to have been out. They weren't supposed to have been in, and they were supposed to have had an 8-day vacation built up. They called them in because no one else showed up. People aren't showing up for work, and they said all of a sudden they're having a staff shortage and stuff like that. But yet they don't really know anything about it when you ask them. But there's this one nurse that she came in a few days ago and just pitched Mama's medicines down, and I didn't like that one bit. She's got a problem with her, and Mama's never given her any issue. None of us have. We've always been as nice as could be. And yet she just chose to take her grief out on her. She sits outside and laughs really loud and talks and laughs and gossips with everyone else, but then threw her medicine down. And we even brought that up to someone. We talked about the fact that they just pitched it down. She just literally threw it. And then said, when she asked for her pain medicine, and she just pitched that down. And it practically went to the floor. And I'm like, whoa, like you just don't do that. But I've been kind of high strung today. My chest feels, oh my goodness, I don't know. The nurse is supposed to check on you. They haven't checked her vitals. They don't check vitals. They haven't been checking her body temperature. I've done all the cleaning. I do the cleaning. I've been doing I'll put on gloves and do the cleaning and all that stuff. Lysol and wipe everything down. And Mama had an issue, a bowel issue. I cleaned her, and she had all that. I used the gloves and all that, protective equipment, obviously, because of any issue that could take place, and just out of, basic common sense. But I don't know why they're not. She pushed the button, and this particular nurse that's in today, it had been 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and the buzzer's going off. People's buzzers go off for like 30 minutes with this woman. But yet, for some reason, she hates going in there to her room, to Mama's room. She just gets moody. That is not the way you're supposed to treat your job. That's not the way you're supposed to treat your patients. You're supposed to treat the patients with the utmost respect. Just like when I see the elderly individuals outside, and I talk to them, and I ask if they need anything. I've brought them blankets. I'll bring them a pillow. They didn't mind that. None of the staff minded that. They actually thought that was great. They loved it. And the elderly people, some of them were saying that, "Are you going to be here tomorrow?" They were hoping that I would be here. I don't know how long we're going to be here. And they enjoy my company and enjoy me talking to them and stuff like that. There's one person that's jealous of that, but, that's no big deal. You get that. But it's just that this nurse in particular, why would you throw the medicine down and not come to someone when their light's going off? And even someone this weekend tried to streamline the medicine where patients get their medicines no matter what. This weekend we had a nurse at night that would literally set the alarm for when the IV's finished, set the alarm for each patient, and remind them to go to room whichever and give them their medicine at this and such time. Now that's a nurse, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way you're supposed to do it. All you got to do, we have technology. All you got to do is say, hey, so-and-so time, set this alarm for so-and-so time, or remind me at whatever time to go to room whatever and administer so-and-so medicine. That's all you have to do. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's what some of them do when they have an outside nurse a lot of times or whatever, but there's one in particular, she just pitched that medicine at her, and Mama's blood pressure was 122 over 59, and she gave her the medicine for blood pressure impulse and her other blood pressure medicine, which is supposed to be administered at different times in the day. She gave both blood pressure medicines and said, I only gave you one blood pressure medicine. So I thought, what? Wait now. And I looked, when she got out of the room, I looked the medicine up. She gave Mama both blood pressure medicines. She gave her both blood pressure medicines when it was already 122 over 59. And I thought, what are you trying to do? Do away with her? You don't do that. Why would you give someone two blood? I'm sorry. There's been a lot of people upset too, but why would you give someone, it's gotten to me quite a bit. Why would you give someone two blood pressure medicines when it's 122 over 59? You don't do that. But anyway, she still has that bacterial infection, and it's just continuing. She just gets so tired. She hurts all over still. As she needs her pain medicine, but they don't want to give it when she needs it. But then then the main nurse, one of the main nurses this weekend said, "Oh, she needs it. She needs it for sure. You can see it." And I'm like, "Thank you." Like, you can see it. And he said, "You can't miss it that she's in excruciating pain." But this particular one, she sits out there and cackles and laughs really loud, just like really loud, and just talks and gossips instead of. I'm sorry, I know this happens everywhere. I probably shouldn't even be. I don't even like to talk about situations. I love most of the staff. Most of the staff out there are great. I mean, they are just wonderful people, very kind. The staff, the nurses, the techs, they're great. They've talked a lot to me, and I'm not going to say any details of anything, but I needed to vent, and I'm probably going to delete this within a short period of time, but it's just that I'm not liking what I'm seeing in the past few days. I'm just not liking it at all. I shouldn't be this tired, but I'm super tired again all of a sudden. But I rested and tried to sleep when Mama rested. Oh, I'm sorry. I went into a blank. Oh my goodness, I went blank. But anyway, yeah, they said that's not really normal for her to still feel that way, but it might be. You don't know. So the infectious disease expert will have to talk, and then they need to do a urinalysis, I'm sure, when this is almost finished or after it's finished, maybe 2 or 3 days after. That's when they should do it and see whether the infection has been removed from her body and if the IV antibiotics have actually done their job, and go from there, because there's no way she's supposed to visit a urologist, that same urologist, and she still has that stone in the right kidney. She's still got that stent, and then a surgery complicates things, and it can cause more infection. And if you've got that much infection in you, they won't do a surgery for sure. So, and she needs that stone removed. So it's like a danged if you do, if you don't situation, catch-22 scenario. But yeah, that one nurse we called. I mean, someone could have a heart attack during that period of time. That one, I counted, and it was 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Oh, they'll be there. Oh, they'll be there. Oh, they're on their way. They're on their way. And then all of a sudden, some woman comes in there, and she tells us that, oh, they are, that they're, she'll be that we're switching over right now. We're switching shifts. She turns off the light. She turns off the nurse's light. I had to, when I was cleaning the restroom, because no one did that either. No one took out the trash. No one did any of that. But then all of a sudden I'm saying, so they're going to bring her extra large pull-ups, because she's been using a lot of them because she's had extreme amounts of bowel issues. And she said, oh yes, we'll get that. Time passes. Nothing is brought at all. And then we wind up having, the light on for like 30 minutes. No one shows up. When they finally do, and then they don't come back. The tech will tell the nurse something. The nurse doesn't do anything for her. That particular nurse, she won't even come to her. mean, it's like she won't come to her. And Mama never did anything at all out of the way to upset that nurse. Nothing at all. She never did anything to upset her. So I really don't know. I couldn't tell you what's actually going wrong or what is wrong. I really couldn't tell you. But I do know that one thing is for certain. We have been as kind as possible with everyone. I mean, with everyone. But anyway, and there is one nurse and one CNA that you have issues with, but that goes for anywhere, anytime. You have that everywhere. That takes place. But I don't know. Anywhere you go, you get those issues. So, anyway, just thought I would share. And just thought I'd give an update on what's going on.